Sometimes, you just need something cheap and easy. I'm talking about beer, not women. Nevertheless, simpler times, lager beer from Trader Joe's. I used to carry the lager and a Pilsner. They just have the lager. It's 6.2%, and I haven't drank it yet this year, but my recollection is that it's gone awful, but it's not any worse than the cheap stuff you're paying a whole lot more for from that bargain brand that you've been buying for decades. It's $7.99 for the 12-pack, which is why I picked it up, because I bought it for a specific reason here, but I thought I'd have one here with you. Along with, also from Trader Joe's, their Kentucky Bourbon Straight Whiskey. It doesn't say Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's very cleverly worded there, because it's not. Distilled bourbon, distilled by Bourbon Square Distilling, I should say, out of Louisville, Kentucky. You can do some homework and figure out who distills it, but it's not that hard, actually. It is a 90 proof. There's the clue right there. It's a 90 proof bourbon. And the truth is, it is. I'm kind of kicking myself because I should have bought 2 bottles of it to bring to a specific function where something inexpensive would have been appropriate. But it's $14.99 for the bottle. So the Boilermaker, there is some discrepancy about how to properly drink a Boilermaker. And I think it kind of depends on how and where you were raised, right? So some say a Boilermaker is you take a shot of beer or take a shot of whiskey and then chase it with a beer. And then there's that other school of thought that you drop it in the beer and then drink it all. But some places call that a depth charge. However, here's where I'm going to irritate a few folks. If you look up the origins of a Boilermaker, a true Boilermaker, an Irish-American thing, is that you drop the shot into the beer. Now, it was later named a depth charge by others that want to do a shot in a beer, but a true Boilermaker really is. And again, you can do the research on your own. But I grew up being of Irish ancestry, and my dad was born in 22. So growing up, this is how he taught was Boilermakers. You had the shot, you had the beer, you drop it in. But other cultures, other folks, some people call that a depth charge. And they're not necessarily wrong. That's why I say it kind of depends on how and where you were raised. But it is a true Irish-American middle-class thing. But the original origin is actually dropping the beer in there. We could argue about that until the second coming. Because there is really, in all honesty, there isn't any definitive proof, but the research research is a strange word, isn't it? No, I didn't do double-blind tests, but all the information I found, and again, going back to how I grew up, the true Irish-American Boilermaker was dropping it. If you look up the earliest of Irish coming to America, when they would have a Boilermaker, that's how it was done. So anyways, so is it wrong to do the shot in a beer? No, it's not wrong. Is it wrong to drop it in the beer and call it a Boilermaker? No. But it's also not wrong to call that same thing a depth charge. So I'm saying basically everybody's right and everybody's wrong. I'm glad I can clear that up for you. So here's my problem with this beer. It's one of those that comes under the category, it is what it is. Either my tastes have changed or they've made this different than they did several years ago, and both are possible, as it feels very, very sweet now. But it also feels, again, like a lot of those, names that we already know. If you find a lager out there at 6% ish, this one is labeled at 6.2. That will tell you who makes this particular beer. I'm not going to give it away, although I do know. So to do a Boilermaker with this, yeah, I let it warm up slightly because it is easier for that. However, in all honesty, a beer like this, if you have it chilled to damn near ice crystals, it's not the worst thing you've ever had your lips around. So there you go. Anyways, I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy, Sláinte. Thanks for staying around for the history lesson.